Hey guys, welcome back to the second part of this Blender building series. In this part, I'll be modeling the hood and maybe some other pieces if you have enough time. So first thing I like doing is I like doing Shift+C because the 3D cursor might be off, not in the middle, like how mine's over here. So Shift+C and it resets it. I go into top view by pressing 7. And by the way, everything is being shown in the bottom left corner right here. So I do Shift+A and then mesh and plane. So I just inserted a plane. Now I press tab to enter edit mode. Right now it's in object mode, so you can't edit this mesh, but if you press tab, it'll be in edit mode. You can see the vertices and everything. So press A to select all the vertices, and then press M, and then at center. You won't be able to see anything, but that's because I merged all of the vertices into one. So press on this arrow, the arrows, the move icon up here, and then if you press A, you'll be selecting the vertice. So how I like modeling is I like tracing the outline of the panel gaps and the body lines of the hood, and that's when I like filling it in. So I'm gonna move this vertice to the middle panel gap right here, and then I go into the front view by pressing 1, and I move it up and line it up in the same area. So now I want this vertice to extend across this entire panel gap of the hood. So what I like to do is I press E, and this extrudes the vertice. I'm moving with my mouse. So I'm gonna place it right here at the edge of this panel gap. And press E once again to bring it over here, and then E once again to bring it over here. Go to the front view or side view, any view works, and just match it up in every view. Okay, so now we just have like a super rough outline of the panel gap, but as we can see, it's not really following the lines of the panel gap, and it obviously has to be smooth there. So the way you can add more vertices to make this line smoother is by pressing Ctrl+R. This is called a loop cut. So you can see this one yellow vertice right here. You can scroll up to add more vertices and scroll down to remove some. So I'm gonna add about like 5 right now, and then I'm gonna move each vertice so it matches up with the panel gap. And obviously you can add and remove as you need to. So same thing here again. I'm gonna add 4 here. Pressing G and then just moving my mouse. Here, what I'm gonna do is since there's a panel, there's a body line over here, I'm gonna add 1 loop cut. Move the vertice over here. Now I'm gonna go into another side view and move it up so it can line up. As you can see, my blueprint isn't perfectly lined up, so I'm gonna fix that real quick. Alright, now it should be good. And then I'm gonna add more loop cuts again, so I'm gonna add like 6, and then move them once again so they can line up with the panel gap. And now I'm gonna go on all the views once again and make sure all the vertices are lining up with the panel gap. And a quick tip is whenever you're moving it down and you're about to get close to the panel gap, hold Shift so I can slow down the movement so you can get a more precise placement. So what I also like doing, since this is a panel gap, I like to mark it sharp. So I'm going to press A to select all the vertices, Ctrl+E, and then mark sharp. You can tell a line is marked sharp when it's blue. And just by looking at this, I still don't like the curvature of, you know, how it's curved. So I'm gonna add even more vertices and keep rounding it out. So I'm gonna add 2 over here, move it out. 2 over here, round it out, and 2 over here. But we shouldn't have too many vertices in a certain place, or else it'll be something called dense. You want to have a good topology where all the vertices are evenly spaced out. So one way this can you can help with spacing out your vertices is going to edit, preferences, and then go to add-ons, and then in the search bar type in loop tools and check the box for it. So if you press N, and then if you click on, and while you're in edit mode, click tool, sorry, not tool, edit, and then loop tools, open it up, this menu will come up. So I want to even out the vertices. I want to space them out evenly for this line right here. So I just want to select this line only. So right click on the middle vertice, hold Control, and click on the end, where you want the line to end. So this will select just this line. So I press space and then relax. I press select a few times. So now it should be a lot more rounded out and way smoother. And this looks pretty good to me. So same thing over here. I'm gonna add 2 vertices right here, space it a little bit, 2 more right here, space it a little bit, and then I'm gonna select this section over here, space, and then relax. And as you can see, this is a lot smoother already. And once again, right here too. But in this section is not that bad right now, but there's this curve right here that needs more. So I'm gonna add 2 vertices right here, extend it out, pull it down, 2 over here, just make sure everything matches with the lines and lines up. And then I'm just going to select this edge up to here, space, and then relax. It should be a lot smoother. Then I'm just going to add 2 right here, and then space and relax this section. So here's the panel gap for the hood. Oh. Alright. So now we can work on the body line. So I'm gonna take the middle piece, extrude it up, and then move it up so it lines up with the body line. And then you can start just extruding it. So you can either extrude it like this and just make it like mash up the line, the body line, and then select the last one and press F to fill it in. Or you can select these 2 vertices, press F, and then just add loop cuts and just do the same thing we were doing before, and just make it like match with the curve of the body line. So since it's already like this, I'm just going to continue with this. So I'm just add 2 loop cuts, just get like just match it with the body line a little bit on each side. I'm gonna mark it sharp again. But as we can see, there is a body line right here, so I would want a vertice to line up right here. So I'm gonna move this a little bit over here, and that should be good. And the best thing to also do is to look at real life references. So there might be a chance you might not be able to see a body line over here. So I'm gonna search in 2019 Toyota RAV4 hood, and I'll be able to clearly see like if there's a body line that's missing. So maybe not this one. 2020 is about around the same. You can clearly see right here the body lines. So I need this line right here to match up to, so I can tell it's like about here, and then line it up in all the views, and then just keep adding more loop cuts till it matches the curve. So one thing you want to make sure that you're doing is that you want to have an even amount of vertices on each side. So let's say I cut this one off by here. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 vertices, and there's only 2 right here. So I'm gonna want to add 5 more over here just to make it match up. So let's do that real quick. That's 4, 5, and then I'm gonna move it down, make it all match up. And then I'm gonna select this section, space and relax. So now whenever we're filling it in, it should be all quads and match pretty evenly. But we're still gonna finish tracing out all the lines. And you're going to want to also make sure, because you can see how this line is a little wobbly right here, right? You're going to want to make sure it's like smooth, not this wobbly. So what you can also do is you can select the line where it's like wobbly and click flatten for loop tools, and it should smoothen out the curve by a lot. But you might have to do some adjustments at the end, because like right here you can see it was a little sharp, and then right here towards the middle it's like starts going upwards. So I like going in the side view and just straightening it out a little bit. Just make sure your lines are straight as possible, so you don't look wobbly. And then I'm gonna want to finish up this curve right here. So keep adding loop cuts and curving it. And I'm going to select up to this line right here where the body line is, space, and then relax. So this should be around the same amount of vertices. So what I'm going to do to test this is I'm going to select this middle face, fill it in, pressing F, and just holding the outer two vertices, holding F, and it should fill in. And as you can see, there are too many vertices over here. So what we can do is, so I'm gonna fill, okay, I'm gonna add 2 more over here, even this part out a little. Actually, no, it's too dense. So I'm gonna remove 1, space it out a little bit, fill this part in, okay, and then I'm gonna remove 2 vertices from this headlight area. Space and then relax, and then keep filling it in. I'm gonna add 1 more vertex on this side. I'm gonna add like 2 more on this side. Okay, now we can see it's very even now, so I'm gonna fill this out. And towards this area, we don't need to add like many vertices where it like becomes quads, where it has to be quads. You can just add some triangles because it shouldn't affect shading too much, just like this. And also another thing is we want this side to be mirrored onto the other side, right? So click on this wrench right here, go modifiers, add modifier, search, and type in mirror. So now it's mirrored onto the other side. Another thing you're going to want to do is press on this arrow on the top right, turn on back face culling. And whenever it goes transparent, this means your faces are not facing the right way. And then you also want to turn on cavity, it's not shadow, cavity, and make the type both. Okay, so if your mesh is like mine, where it's transparent and you can't see it, this means your faces are flipped, which you can see them on the other side. So what you're going to want to do is press Tab, A, and then Alt, A to select all, and Alt+N. So this brings up your normals menu. You're going to want to flip. So now your mesh, so now your faces will be facing the right way. I'm gonna remove the sharp mark from the inner line. I'm gonna do Ctrl+E, clear sharp. And now you can also see how you can see each and every single face. And obviously you want this part to be smooth. So what I do is I click on Object and Shade Smooth. But since I use this command a lot, I keybind at this this command. So what you can do to keybind this is right click, add shortcut, and then I made mine Q. So you'll see me pressing Q a lot to mark my meshes smooth, to shade them smooth. Alright, so now I'm gonna want to finish the rest of this hood. So I'm gonna do this outline to the center. So what I'm gonna want to do is I'm gonna turn on clipping in the mirror options. So whenever I extrude and try to go towards the center, it won't go any more like past the center. So, and then I'm going to front view, match it up, and then I'm going to add vertices at these body line areas, make it line up over here too, make it line up, mark this area sharp, and then I'm going to want to curve it all out. So, but once again, you're going to want to use the same amount of vertices you have in each section in the front. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to find the vertice that is on the edge of the body line over here, and I'm going to fill it in and do the same thing again over here. So I see that right here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 vertices. So I'm going to add 7 vertices here. So that's 4, 6, and then 7. And then I'm going to select this entire section, space, and then relax. And right here I have 3, so I have 2, shape it a little bit, 1 more, and then space and relax. And right here, you can't really line it up like that, so what I usually do, I just add 2, I just shape it, I make it line up, and just add like 2 more, and then I just space and relax. And then I'll show you guys how to really fill this out. So now we're gonna want to fill out the center of the hood. So I'm gonna connect the 2 middle vertices right here, and then we're gonna want it to match this curve. Actually, we can't really match the curve because we can't see where the middle of the hood is, because on this car the outer part of the hood sticks up more than the middle part. On most other cars you'll be able to see the center, but in this case we're going to kind of have to freehand. So I'm just going to start with the outermost part of the hood first. So I'm going to add 2, I'm going to mark these sharp first because they're body lines. Don't mark the middle line sharp because then the middle of the car will have like a sharp line through the middle. So I'm just gonna add 2 vertices right here to the outer body line and just start shaping it up. Okay, it's not the most visible right now. Alright, so you gotta line up a little bit, and then obviously it's very blocky, so I'm gonna add a lot more vertices and fill it all out. I mean smoothen it all out. So space and relax, space, relax, space and relax. As you can see, this car is a little difficult because I'm having trouble seeing where these hood body lines are first of all, but with like enough patience you should be able to figure this out. Actually, this is the middle of the hood, so I was worrying for no reason. But so yeah, I got it lined up, and obviously 4 is not enough, so I'm gonna add like 2 over here, 2 over here, maybe 2 over here, and then select this entire part, relax and smooth, and the same thing over here for each next one. Space and relax. Okay, so now we're gonna want to fill in the center of this hood. The most efficient way to fill in this type of hood area is using a tool called grid fill. So the way you can use this is you select 2 edges of the hood that are parallel to each other. Then do Ctrl+F, which brings up the fill menu, and then click on grid fill. And as you can see, it fills these like meshes, or these faces in as a grid. Same thing over here. Select 2 edges, grid fill. Right here, you can't really use grid fill. This part is gonna have to get filled out manually. So, and the way I'm thinking of doing this is I'm gonna select these 2 edges first. Actually, so out of body vertice over here, I'm just select this edge and just fill it in a little bit. See where it ends up. Okay. Usually filling in these type of sections are a little difficult. So I'm gonna use triangles a little actually. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is to make this a little easier, I'm gonna add some extra vertices on this flat portion of the hood. So I'm gonna do a loop cut again, add 2, and I'm gonna select the line tool, and I'm just gonna select each line going up and down, and I'm just going to space them out. Okay, go back into vertice mode, and I'm gonna fill in this area a little, just roughly, to see how it's gonna line up. Okay, this isn't bad. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into the faces selection, and I'm gonna delete these faces, and I'm gonna actually don't do that. I'm gonna press K to bring up knife tool, and then I'm just gonna select this inner line all the way to this the furthest most inner line. Press enter, and I'm gonna press X and delete vertices. So as you can see, we have 4 vertices over here. We're gonna want to like kind of grid fill this section with 4 vertices too on each side. So let's get 2, move it out, move it up a little. Oh, as you can see guys, this line isn't that straight. So I'm gonna select this line, flatten it, and now it's straight once again. So yeah, I'm gonna make this even. Add 2 over here, space and relax. 2 here, space and relax. So I'm gonna grid fill. So I'm gonna fill in this section first, and then I'm gonna grid fill this part in. Okay, so it errored. If it errors, try triangle the other edges, and it worked this time. Actually, this does not look good. And this is just a process of like building. You're gonna have to kind of experiment around and do trial and error. So instead of deleting the section, I'm gonna try spacing on the vertices and see how it like maybe works out. So I'm gonna press G twice to slide the vertices, just make them straight. Yeah, I don't really like that. So I'm just gonna delete this entire section. So I'm gonna press C to get the circle tool and just delete all of this. Another way I'm thinking of drawing this is trying to come at the bottom corner. Just press F and just fill it in a little bit. So I'm gonna fill in some triangles. Okay, this is filling in pretty nicely actually. So Okay. So this could work by adding in. So as you can see, there's 3 triangles over here. If I can add in 3 more vertices, I should be able to have these all as quads. So I'm gonna undo what I did right there. Once again, I'm gonna add 3 vertices, and I'm just gonna space out each line. Space, relax. So now back in the top view, I'm gonna start filling it in again. Okay, once I get up to here, I'm going to fill this edge in, and I'm gonna add 2 loop cuts, and then right here I'm gonna add 2 loop cuts too. And then obviously we don't want this section to be flat, because no section is really gonna be that flat on a car. You can see it's a little curved here still. So I'm gonna select these over here too and just move it up a little. And then I don't want this peak to be here at the edge, so I'm gonna rotate it a little bit so it's reduced a little bit, but there's still curvature to the hood, and I'm gonna move it down a little. And right here, I'm gonna select these last 2 vertices, M, merge them to the center, and right here I'm gonna create a line right here by pressing J. And then I'm gonna finish filling off these over here. And right here, I'm just gonna use some triangles and fill this in. Not the best topology, but it works. And of course, just experiment around to your liking, see if you can get the topology right. And I'd say this looks pretty good. So right now, so we have the basic mesh of the hood done. What I like doing is I like adding material to this so it's not like a flat white. So click on material, new, and then I click on use nodes. And you can make the color anything you want. I just make my cars red. And then for roughness, make it 0.05 so there's a glossy finish to it. And make sure to save your files, always. Okay. Now I'm going to teach you guys something called beveling. So as you can see, body lines on cars are not going to always be razor sharp like this. There's going to be a certain type of smoothness to all the body lines. As you can see on this RAV4, these body lines are not razor sharp, they're a little smooth. Even if I remove hood, which will probably give me better images of the RAV4, you can see they're not that sharp. So I'm gonna bevel each of these lines. So first I'm gonna do this line right here. So select the innermost vertice and select the outmost outer one. Control click, and then I'm gonna press Ctrl+E and clear sharp. And then I'm gonna go into like the front view, and then Ctrl+B to get bevel. And since this is a pretty tight bevel still, I'm not gonna add any more loop cuts, which is just like adding loop cuts by using a scroll wheel. I'm just gonna keep it at 2, and I'm gonna have it like relatively tight, like this. You can see it's pretty nice still. And when you also add a bevel, you're gonna wanna go to modifiers, add modifier, and add weighted normals. And this just makes your mesh a lot cleaner. And turn on keep sharp. Sometimes bevels might mess up your topology a little. So right here, you can see this moved my vertice out towards the left. So I'm going to press G twice and slide my vertice back into the center. And right here, you can see too, it kind of has this weird triangle piece over here. So I'm going to select this vertice, select G twice, and move it so it's straight. And then I'm gonna slide this extra vertice and into the existing vertice, and then I'm gonna select A, press M, and this merge by distance, so it deletes that vertice, and just mark this at sharp. And now these inner body lines. I'm gonna start with the outer body line, and I would say it's about the same sharpness as the body line I just beveled, so I'm gonna make the bevel pretty similar to the current one, to this one. So clear sharp, bevel, and this looks good. Once again, I'm going to want to clean up the bevel, so I'm going to go over here. See how there are all these extra vertices here. I'm going to slide this vertice into this one, slide this one into here, and then select A, M by distance, and then right here, I'm going to want to fix this too. Make this straight, slide it into here, and then merge it, mark it sharp. And then this vertice now, this line, you can tell it's not as sharp, it's a lot smoother than the rest. I wouldn't say it's a lot smoother, but it's a good amount smoother. So I'm gonna make this bevel a little bigger. So clear sharp, Ctrl+B again, bevel, and I'm gonna make it like this big. This is pretty good. And then merge this vertice into the closest one and merge by distance. And then this should be your finished hood. I'm just gonna make this extra piece down here really quickly because it's basically connected to the hood. But by now you guys should have the basic gist of how to make like each body panel for the car. So in this one, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select up to this portion of the line. I'm gonna do Shift+D to duplicate it and move it down, because I can match it up with this section over here. So I'm just gonna move the vertices so it lines up with this portion of the hood. Well, not hood, the front bumper or whatever this piece is. Go to the front and make it all line up. And then select it, space, relax. Make sure to always do that so your lines are straight. As you can see, it's a little wobbly right here, so I'm gonna flatten it, and then it should fix it a little, and then I'm gonna fix this inner vertice right here. And even you can see right here, this is even a little wobbly, so I'm gonna flatten this too, and then fix this a little. It's already pretty good actually. And then you can see up to here there are 3 more vertices, so I'm just gonna add 3 more over here. Space, relax, mark it sharp, and then I'm just gonna fill in this entire section. So select this, so fill in the first face, select the outer 2 edge and outer 2 vertices and the edge, and just hold F and fill it in. And that should be it. So I'm just going to clean up this part a little bit by just adding some triangles. Same with over here. And it should be good. Maybe you can add a loop cut right here and just select these vertices, press J, and then merge these triangles in right here. And I think that should be it. Maybe you can curve the hood up a little bit, just so it's not as flat. Actually, it doesn't even need anything. Maybe a little bit. And that should be it for this episode. In the next part, I'll probably work on the fender because this is a lot more complicated. And then in the next part, you guys should be ready to tackle the front bumper. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next episode. Oh, and actually one more thing I want to show you guys before I end the video is how you can take like nice pictures of your mesh. So what I like doing is I like going to the modeling tab up here, and it's gonna look like this. Exit edit mode. You're gonna want your workspace to be as big as possible. So I go right here in this middle line, join areas and join these, and then join areas, join this, and then I press T to hide the toolbox over here, and I press this icon to hide all that over there. Then I open up this menu, I turn off text info, and then I click on the bottom, the top right arrow, turn on cavity, make it both, and turn on shadow and change it to 0.3. And now press N, go to view, and focal length from 50, make it 120. Now you should be able to take nice pictures of your cars in Blender. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next episode.